Hello, Cancer, and welcome into your reading for the second half of September. Today we'll be taking a look at jobs and careers, love and relationships, and then life path and mission. Before we dive into that part, though, this is something that was a little bit newer that I had added last time, but we'll be pulling a crystal card to see what crystal the divine or the universe is encouraging you to work with in the second half of the month. This deck is actually pretty cool because there's also this QR code on the back where it'll play different sounds, or I guess songs that you can listen to while you're meditating. So let's see what comes up for you. Sugar Light, Platinum, and that's about wholeness, forgiveness, and dreams. So that is for you for this month, working on wholeness, or for the second half of the month, wholeness, forgiveness, and dreams. So a few things that are happening. We'll be taking a look at your overall energy for the second half of the month before we dive into those specific areas. But the big things that are happening on the 15th, Mercury goes direct. So kind of moving out of some of that extra heavy energy that the retrograde was causing, so miscommunications and timing issues, technology issues, travel, things like that. And once Mercury goes direct, then everything is stable from a direct retrograde perspective through the end of the month. So even though we do still have Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, Uranus, and Jupiter all in retrograde, they will remain that way through the end of the month. So it'll give you a little bit of a breather there. We do have, on the 23rd, the Sun enters Libra, and that's going to be about kind of fairness and balance and a little bit of that, I just want peace. I don't want to deal with drama, so that sort of feeling. And then on the 29th, we have our harvest moon, which is full moon in Aries. And that's going to be a really good time to align with your mission because you're going to have access to your conscious and your subconscious mind. So you can really focus on what it is that you're most interested in doing and what is bringing you happiness, what is bringing you further along on your life path. So overall, your energy for the second half of the month, we have our Five of Feathers, which is Five of Swords energy, Six of Shells, which the shells is going to be your cups. So that'll be your Six of Cups, and then Four of Crystals in reverse, that's Four of Pentacles in reverse. So with your Five of Swords energy, that's going to be kind of a sense of like a little bit of like ruthlessness and dishonesty. Your Six of Cups energy is going to be that kind of comfort and nostalgia, like a little bit of that traditional type of energy. And then your Four of Pentacles in reverse is this like generous and overspending type of energy. So it could be that these kind of go in a progression because they don't necessarily all blend together. So there could have been a little bit of this like ruthlessness. And this is actually on this card, it's talked about strategy. So a little bit of that, but you've been having those feelings of nostalgia, which is kind of pushing you also into this energy of, I guess, generosity, but it's a little bit of overspending too. So some of that, whether that's overspending financially, whether that's overspending energetically, like, oh, we're in this nostalgic state. So I'm just going to, reminisce. And so if it was, for example, if you were having, say, a conflict within a relationship of yours, and then you hit that kind of nostalgic, oh, I really wish things were like they used to be, it could drive you into this energy of over giving of your time and energy and patience and things like that because you're trying to drive it back to what it used to be. But let's take a deeper look and see what all comes up. So we will start with jobs and careers. So what is in store for Cancer for jobs and careers? In the recent past, we have Nine of Wands currently sitting in Nine of Wands in reverse, Knight of Wands in reverse energy right now, and the next level of energy is Three of Pentacles in reverse. So you have been sitting in a little bit of this like exhausted type of energy in the recent past, and that's been pushing you into this energy of kind of like a little bit of like anger and recklessness. Like you're tired of being burned out. You're tired of the exhaustion and like a stalemate at work. And then the next level that's coming through though is some conflict and some rivalry and maybe even like some apathy. So it looks like the exhaustion and like burnout and stubbornness is pushing you down a not very peaceful path at work. So this could be some of this like ruthless energy that's coming in for you for the second half of the month is related to a job. So let's pull a couple more cards and see, does it look like, what does this look like, say 2 to 4 months out? So we're going to see if we see some improvement or see if it looks like you might be walking away from it or just kind of same old. So let's pull the Hierophant and Ace of Cups. So it looks like, because you kind of get pushed down this path of like conflict and apathy, that you end up partnering up with somebody who's a mentor, or you end up connecting with somebody who's a mentor and can kind of help you see things from a little bit of a different perspective, maybe. And that pushes you into this Ace of Cups energy, which is like this creativity and inspiration. So they're able to help move you out of that rivalry, that anger type of energy, and they're able to help move you in a more positive direction. So maybe it's somebody at work that's worked there a long time, like, oh, yep, we've seen these cycles before. Here's how you get out of them. So that's what things look like from a work perspective for you. So that would be kind of the advice from spirit or advice from the universe is find that mentor, find that guru, find somebody who can help guide you in your job and career path and help kind of turn that energy around for you. You don't have to do it all on your own. All right. So love and relationships. What does that look like? In the recent past, we've had the Six of Pentacles. You're currently sitting in Five of Cups energy, and the next level is Three of Cups in reverse. So you're sitting in this you have been sitting in this very generous, giving sort of energy, but that's kind of put you into this state of grief or sadness or kind of a sense of loss. And the next level of that, like the next thing coming in, is almost this like lonely, reclusive type of energy. So, the thing here is you were giving and you were hoping to be getting something in return. And it's almost like what you were getting was not in line with what you were thinking. So even when we look at this Five of Cups energy, there's still two cups that are standing. The figure is focusing on the three that are knocked down in front of them. So some of it could be a matter of, if you're giving and you feel like it's these big, generous gestures, or, you're putting in more time, you're putting in more energy, things like that, and you feel like the other person isn't, some of it could also be a matter of needing to adjust what it is that you're looking at. So, okay, fine. So they didn't give you the 3 cups worth, but they gave you the 2 cups worth. So that's, yes, 3 is more than 2, but it's kind of that matter of how are you evaluating their contribution, their efforts? Are you evaluating it based on yours, or are you evaluating it based on their ability to give? So, so that's something, in terms of a shift of mentality. And some of this, when we're looking at this nostalgic energy over here, it could be a matter of, well, but they used to do this. They used to give these big lavish gifts or have, lots of attention and things like that. So just make sure that you're evaluating the situation fairly based on what's currently happening. Like, don't necessarily compare it to, when we very first started dating. Because staring at these 3 cups that are knocked over, it's funny because this is the Three of Cups in reverse. So if this is what you're looking at, this is what you're getting. 3 cups, 3 cups. So if what you're looking at is what's lost and you're ignoring what they are giving to you, you're going to be pushed into this lonely type of energy of feeling like, oh, I'm the only one that's putting in any effort. So it's just a matter of flipping it around and looking at those 2 cups. So let's take a look from a timing perspective at when, let's see how you're able to move out of that energy. Let's look at what is happening, say maybe the next level of energy beyond this. Queen of Swords energy. So that's perceptive and independent, kind of this open-minded. So it looks like you are able to move that figure, flip them around where they're actually looking at the 2 cups that are still standing. So what is the time frame of being able to make that shift? So essentially replacing that future. What is the time frame of that for our Cancerians? After a massive change. So when it's talking about that massive change could be just getting this figure to turn the other direction. Maybe that's one of your areas that you need to work on. Pluto is in retrograde until October 10th, and Pluto is kind of the great destroyer. So it's about power struggles, but it's also about changing your toxic behaviors and beliefs. And so maybe you are a glass is half empty type of person, somebody who sees the faults, or who's comparing other people's efforts to, well, these are my efforts. So I gave 6 pentacles, so they need to be giving 6 pentacles. Well, maybe they only have 3 pentacles in their pocket to be able to give. So if you're evaluating them based on what you're giving, maybe you have 10 pentacles in your pocket and you only gave 6. So if you're evaluating them based on your contributions, that's not really a fair way to evaluate your partner. So with Pluto still in retrograde, I would say over the next month, that would be a good thing to take a look at is how are you judging or evaluating the other person, and is it a toxic way of doing that? So we have the 2 of Wands in reverse. If that's coming up in relation to this situation, this is like kind of some indecision or a failure to plan. But all right, let's take a look at life path and mission and see what comes up for you. All right, we have the Moon in the recent past, 4 of Swords in reverse as your current energy, and the Chariot in reverse as your next level of energy. And oh my gosh, I've said this in probably the last 3 or 4 videos now. So this is video number 10 of the ones that I've recorded for this batch for the individual zodiac signs. And this 4 of Swords in reverse is coming up like crazy. I think it's been in literally almost every single one of these. And actually the 4 of Pentacles has been coming up in almost every single one of these readings as well. So the 4 of Pentacles, or I'm sorry, the 4 of Swords in reverse, and it comes up either in reverse or in the upright position, but pretty much in every single reading. And this is about being exhausted, and you're kind of having like this breakdown, and there's a lot of stress. So on your life path, you're feeling exhausted right now. And the Moon in reverse in the recent past. So the Moon can either be about somebody's tricking you, that there's illusions, kind of what's happening by the darkness of night. But some of this is also about your own personal illusions and your own fears and doubts and insecurities. So those are kind of creeping up. So whether it's that you thought you were on a certain life path and then found out that somebody had lied to you, or whether you've kind of been lying to yourself, or you've been succumbing to your fears, and that's what's pushed you into this exhausted, kind of broken down state. The next level of energy coming in is this lack of direction. Like it's this unbalanced energy. You have a fear of being trapped in whatever this life path is, and you kind of don't really have the drive to do much about it because of the fact that you're so exhausted and stressed out. Like you just kind of have that sense of, I just don't even know what I'm doing anymore. So this is kind of not really knowing where to put your energy. And that's also one of the things that's happening with Saturn being in retrograde, is it's really thinking about like, where are you going to be investing your energy? How do you want to get to your goals? And at this point, it's hard because you don't know what those goals are. Like, you don't really know what direction you're trying to go. So, so that's something to maybe take a look at. And as we kind of circle back here on this wholeness, forgiveness, and dreams, I would say the wholeness and forgiveness kind of here in the middle, but with your dreams, what is it that lights your soul up? What is it that you really get excited about doing? And that'll help you with your kind of life path and mission. So let's pull some oracle cards and see what else comes up for you as some source of guidance. Okay. A fiery climax approaches. So that's something in terms of getting to that point of, you know, okay, something really has to change. So wherever you feel that this is appropriate, the fiery climax, and this is full moon in Aries. So we actually do have a full moon in Aries. That's what the harvest moon is this month on the 29th. So I would say on the 29th, or by that time period around there, something big is going to happen that's going to push one of these areas for you. You know, whether it's in this present energy, some argument that makes you feel like this, whether it's, you know, you're so burned out, you know, that you're feeling like you're kind of done with whatever this life path is. And maybe some of it is from a work perspective, that there's, you know, not a battle at work. We don't really battle at work these days, but if there's some anger at work where you end up feeling like you're having some conflict, you know, I would say maybe this conflict at work is happening by the 29th. Okay. Excuse me, needed a quick drink there. Okay, let's look at your soul journey card and see what comes out here. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So I'd say that fiery climax is going there. If you're kind of feeling like you're at a standstill about what is my purpose in life, let your imagination kind of run away with itself. See what feels good. Like when you start daydreaming about, if I didn't have to worry about money, if I didn't have to worry about this, if I didn't have to worry about that, what would I really want to do? Like, let your imagination run, you know, let those dreams come in, and spend some time in nature and just see what feels good, what makes you happy. And then you can kind of think about, okay, is this feasible? Is this something reasonable that I can make some strides towards? All right, let's take a look at our spray paint oracle. Make your gratitude journal. So that's something that helps in general. Like, what are you grateful for? What is going well? And I would say this definitely goes along in here. Be grateful for these Two of Cups. And if you can focus on the Two of Cups that are still standing, I think it's really going to help transform some of that energy. So that is the messages that are coming through for you for the second half of the month. So I hope you found this reading to be helpful. And if you know another Cancerian that may be able to benefit from this information, I would certainly welcome you to share it with them. There's also been a number of other different types of videos that post on this channel. So I've been doing the Is This Your Person? Some twin flame readings. I do daily readings grouped by zodiac signs. And then I recently started doing the kind of pick your pile. So I'll have 3 different piles of cards, and you pick one, and then we go through each of them to see what the message is there. So if you want to be alerted as to when new videos like that post, make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time, bye-bye.